Good morning, everyone. So today we start our session. Today's our topic is number theory. Which is test paper for BSc, and it is first paper for third semester. It is beneficial for first year student, and we recall for second year student. Recall it for second year student. So introduction to a number theory. Firstly, a basic, that is the definition of number theory, which is number theory is a branch of mathematics devoted primarily to the study of integers. It is sometimes called the queen of mathematics because of its fundamental place in discipline. If we see in number theory, there is only a concept of positive and negative integers. If we say even integers, odd integers, multiple of 3, multiple of 4, multiple of 5, so we see there is a discipline in the numbers, so that it is also known as queen of mathematics due to discipline. कारण टापटीप राहणं, नेटनेटकं राहणं हे कोणाचं असते? मुलींचं असते. मुलींमध्ये जास्त एका राणीचं असते. त्याच्यामुळं जर टापटीपीपणाबद्दल म्हटलं तर यात तुम्हाला काही असं वेगळं काही असं दिसणार नाही, जसं आपल्याला बाकीच्या इक्वेशन्स मध्ये सिक्वेन्स मध्ये काही वेगळं दिसते, सिरीज मध्ये वेगळं दिसते, इंटिग्रेशन मध्ये वेगळं दिसते. पण नंबर थेरीत हा डिसिप्लिन पाळला जातो. म्हणजे खूप छान पद्धतीनं मांडणी केलेली आहे नंबर थेरीची. So we start with the basic principle of divisibility. GCD, that is greatest common divisor, and LCM, that is least common multiple, and modular arithmetic. Okay, in this one we study all these things, that is divisibility, GCD, LCM, and the modular arithmetic. First one, divisibility, that is division. We all know a division from I think from standard 4th or 3rd. सर्वात आधी आपल्याला काय शिकवलं जाते? Numbers, then addition, then subtraction, multiplication, and division. Because for subtraction we need to know addition, and for multiplication we need to know addition as well as subtraction, and for division we should know about what is the addition, subtraction, and division, so that if a and b are integers with a is non-zero, we say that a divides b if there is an integer c, so that b is equal to a into c. That is simply 3 divides 9 because 9 is equal to 3 into 3. 3 divides 12 because 12 is equal to 3 into 4. So that for any two integers, a divides b if there exists another integer c such that b is equal to a into c. Okay, so b equal to a into c. Here a is called divisor of b, as well as c is also called divisor of b, as well as a and c are also known as factors. Okay, so a and c both are factors of d. Okay, so when a divides b, we say that a is a factor of b and b is a multiple of a. Simply these are the basic concepts from your childhood, that is from 4th standard, 5th standard, and it is denoted by a notation A divides B. Okay, simply it is a vertical line, not a division. Uh, that is the sign of division. In the sign of division, we write there A upon B. It is simply A upon B. That is, we divide A by B. Is different and is different. Okay, here A divides B. It is not division of B by A. Is that clear? A divides B means there exists factor A. But if we write 3 by 2, then it is 3 divided by 2. It is 3 divided by 2. It doesn't mean 2 divides 3, because we cannot find another integer such that 3 is equal to 2 into something. Okay, 3 can be written as 2 into 3 by 2, but 3 by 2 is not a integer. Okay, so A divides B means B is equal to A into some C. Okay, the notation of divides is simply a vertical line, and upon is simply like this or like this, either horizontal or we can say that this one line. Is that clear? Many of the students are mistake to write A divides B. They write either B by A, or sometimes they convert this line to this one. And now it doesn't mean A divides B. It means A upon B. So always remember the sign of division is simply A divides B. Now first theorem is divisibility theorem. For integers A, B and C, it is true that if A divides B and A divides C, then A divides B plus C. Counter example तुम्ही कोणतंही तुमच्या मनात घेऊ शकता. If A divides B and A divides C, then A divides B plus C. Okay. 3 divides 6, 3 divides 9. So that 3 divides 6 plus 9. 6 plus 9 is 15. That is 3 divides 15. Example, 3 divides 6 and 9. So that 3 divides 15. If A divides B, then A divides B into C for all integers C. That is simply if 4 divides 12, then 4 divides 12 into 2 as well. That is 4 divides 24. 4 divides minus 12 as well. Okay, 2 divides 6. So simply it is 2 divides multiple of 6 as well. That is 12, 18, 24, etc. etc. Counter example, 5 divides 10. So that 5 divides 20, 30, 40, etc. etc. That is simply a multiple of 10. If A divides B and B divides C, then A divides C. That is if it's 2 divides 6 and 6 divides 12. So that 2 divides 12. That is 4 divides 8 and 8 divides 24. So that 4 divides 24. Is that clear? A divides B and C, then A divides B plus C. A divides B, then A divides BC or any integer C. And if A divides B and B divides C, then A divides C. And prime numbers. Anyone can tell the definition of prime numbers? Unmute yourself.
The number which is divisible by 2 or itself is called prime.
Which is divisible by
2 or itself.
2 or itself, or 1 or
No,
itself?
sorry, 1 or itself. 1 or itself.
1 or itself. Okay. A positive integer in the definition of prime, the most important thing is that integer must be a positive, because again minus 3, it is divisible by 1 and minus 3, but we need a positive integer which is greater than 1. Again minus 3 is less than 1, and also it is divisible by minus 3 and 1. So the concept of prime is that number must be positive integer, but 0 is also positive, so that is greater than, sorry, 1 is also positive, so it is greater than 1. Is that clear? It's called prime if and only if positive factors of p are 1 and p only. Why positive factors? Because any number p is divisible by 1, p, minus 1 as well as minus p. Is that true? So any number has at least 4 divisors: itself, 1, minus 1, and negation of that number. So if we take 3, then divisors of 3 are 3, 1, minus 1, and minus 3. So basically, there are at least 4 factors, that is 4 divisors for a number. But for any number, positive factors are half of them. Okay, so if we take 4, then the divisors of 4 are 4, 2, 1, minus 1, minus 2, and minus 4. That is 6. 6 divisors for 4. But positive divisors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4 only. Okay, so that prime number means a positive integer p which is greater than 1 if and only if positive factors of p are p and 1. Is that clear? And composite number, a positive integer that is greater than 1 and is not prime is called composite number. For example, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 15, etc., etc. And it is a fundamental theorem of arithmetic, that is, every positive integer can be written uniquely as the product of primes, where the prime factors are written in the order of increasing size. Repeat, every positive integer can be written uniquely as the product of primes, where the prime factors are written in the order of increasing size. You can take any number. If we take 20, then it can be written as 2 into 2 into 5. Simply uniquely written as product of prime. 20 can be also written as 4 into 5. But it is also written in terms of prime factors, that is 2 into 2 into 5. 30 can be written as 2 into 3 into 5. So that any number, if we take 100, then it can be written as 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. Okay, 2, 2, 5, 5. If we take 1000, then it can be written as 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5. If we take 500, then it can be written as 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, and so on. Okay. Again, one principle: if n is composite integer, then n has a prime divisor less than or equal to under root n. If n is composite integer, then n has a prime divisor which is less than or equal to under root n. This principle is also used to find a number of primes, or simply a prime, to counting of primes which are less than any number. That is, if I have to find the primes which are, or if we have to check a number which is prime or not, then also use this theorem or this result. That is, if you have to check 61, if you have to check 61 is prime or not, then we take under root of n. Now, if we take under root of 61, it is near about less than 8, because 8 square is 64. So and any number is have always a prime divisor. By previous result said that every number can be written as product of primes, okay, in increasing order. So simply we have to check either 61 has a prime factor or not, but its prime factor is always less than 8. So if we check any number, that is 61 is divisible by any number. So if we check 1 other than 1, so remaining numbers are 6. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 61 does not divisible by 2, as well as 3, as well as 4, 5, 6, and 7. Clear? So 61 does not have any factor, so that 61 is prime. Simply we check 101 as well. कारण काय असते, आपल्याला भरपूर सारे नंबर माहिती असतात की प्राइम आहेत आणि भरपूर सारे नंबर माहित नसतात की प्राइम नाही आहेत म्हणून. ओके, so that if we take 101, the under root of 101 is probably equal to 10, because square of 10 is 100. Clear? So that under root of 101 is probably equal to 10. So number which are less than 10 are 1 to 10. We neglect 1, so remaining terms are 2 to 10. So simply we know which numbers are divisible by 2 if last number is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0. Okay, so it does not divisible by 2. Divisible by 3 if sum is divisible by 3. If sum of digits is divisible by 3, then number is divisible by 3. Sum of digits is 2, so it does not divisible by 3. Then 4, if last two digits are divisible by 4, then number is divisible by 4. Last two digits is 0, 1, does not divisible by 4. 5, if last digit is 0 and 5, then number is divisible by 5. Divisible by 6 if number is divisible by 2 as well as 3. It does not divisible by 2 as well as 3, so that does not divisible by 6. Again 7, not divisible by 7. Not divisible by 2 means not divisible by 8. 9, not divisible by 3 means does not is divisible by 9, and not divisible by 10 as well. So that 101 does not have any prime factor, hence 101 is prime number. Okay, so if n is composite number, it must have two primes. P1 and P2 such that P1 into P2 is equal to n. Must have two prime factors. It doesn't mean it has at most two prime factors. Least, most, all the different things. Okay, it must have two prime factors. If it is composite, it doesn't mean it has only two prime factors. It has many more prime factors, but must have two or at least two prime factors. If we take 6, then it has two prime factors, 2 into 3. If we take 8, then it has three prime factors, 2, 2 and 2. If we take 9, then again it has two prime factors, that is 3 into 3. If we take 12, then it has three prime factors, that is 2, 2 and 3. So it must have at least two prime factors. Okay, P1 and P2 cannot be both the greater than under root n, because then P1 into P2 is greater than n. Is that clear? P1 and P2 cannot both be greater than under root n, because P1 into P2 is greater than n. कारण जर आपण ग्रेटर दॅन P1 P2 ग्रेटर दॅन P1 कोणताही एक ग्रेटर दॅन अंडर रूट घेतला, इफ वी टेक P1 which is greater than under root n, okay, then P1 square is greater than n. ओके, कोणताही एक असू शकतो, दुसरा राहील काय नाही. ठीक आहे, आपण समजा 10 घेतला, 10 पेक्षा अंडर रूट 10 नियर अबाउट 3 पॉइंट समथिंग, तर दोघंही ग्रेटर आहे काय. 10 चे फॅक्टर्स किती आहेत, 2 and 5. अंडर रूट 3 पेक्षा फक्त 5 मोठा आहे, 2 आहे काय नाही आहे. म्हणजे दोन जर फॅक्टर्स असतील तर एखादा त्याच्या अंडर रूट एन पेक्षा मोठा असू शकतो, दोघंही अंडर रूट एन पेक्षा मोठे राहणार नाहीत. ठीक आहे, बेसिक आहे. इफ यू टेक 30, then divisors of 30 are or factors of 30 are 2, 3 and 5. Under root of 30 is near about 5, greater than 5. Okay, so greater than 5 factors are only no one, that is 5, and under root of 30 is greater than 5. Okay, all factors are less than under root of n. त्याच्यापेक्षा मोठाही असेल तर जास्तीत जास्त एक असेल, दोघंही मोठे राहणार नाहीत. Division algorithm, very basic concept. Let a be an integer and b is positive integer, then there are unique integers q and r with 0 is less or equal to r is less than b, such that a is equal to b into q plus r. बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट आहे, सगळ्यांना माहित आहे. A is divisor, D is dividend, Q is quotient, and R is remainder. Okay, so B divides A. If A can be written as, or simply if there are two numbers A and B, then A is equal to B into Q plus R, where R is varying between 0 to B minus 1, or simply R is greater or equal to 0 and less than B. Okay, in the above equation, not D, B. Okay, B is called divisor, A is called dividend, Q is called quotient, and R is called remainder. ठीक है, instead of B there is D there is D. एक प्रॉब्लम देखो, 5 -32. -32 divided by 5. Tell me the quotient and remainder. In chat box, you can unmute yourself and tell the answer. Quick. -32 divided by 5. Quotient and remainder. Simply write the values of Q and R. That is quotient and remainder. Simply write in comment box. Fifth standard का क्वेश्चन है. खूप काही नाही, 5व्या वर्गातल्या गोष्ट आहे. तुझ्या वेरूडवर Q is equal to 6 and R is equal to -2. आणखी कोणी? Anyone? झोपले का सर्व? ते ऐकत नाहीये. मोबाईल ठेवला आणि बाकीचे फिरायला गेले. वाटू द्या तुम्ही ऐकत आहे ना. आणि फर्स्ट इयर तुमच्यासाठी खूप महत्वाचा टॉपिक आहे. आपण या सेमिस्टर मध्ये याची सुरुवात करणार आहोत. आणि हे जरी बेसिक क्लिअर झालं तरी तुम्हाला सोबत तिकडे प्रॉब्लेम जाणार नाही. Kiran, Q7 and R3. Again, anyone? Okay. Here we see there are unique integers Q and R. आता इथे तुमचे दोन आन्सर आले आहेत, एक 6 - 2 आणि दुसरा 7 and 3. याचा अर्थ दोघांपैकी एक चुकलेला असेल किंवा दोघंही चुकलेले असतील, कारण युनिकनेस मस्ट आहे. दोघांचंही आलं असतं तर ते सारखं असलं पाहिजे होतं. बरोबर. आता आपण पाहू आर काय असते नेहमी पॉझिटिव्ह, दॅट इज नॉन निगेटिव्ह, आयदर 0 or greater than 0 and less than b. So your remainder must be less than 5. Okay, now number is negative. So if you have to find a positive remainder, then you need negative term here, because we subtract this term from -32. So then becomes it is minus minus. Okay, that is simply we need this negative term which is greater than 32 or simply less than -32. So if we take quotient 7, then we get a number which is greater than 32, but we need negative, that is -7. So -7, so it is -35. Okay, so remainder is 3. Now we check this one, that is A is equal to BQ plus R, that is -32 is equal to -7 into 5, that is -35 plus 3, so that -32. Is that clear? So that quotient is -7 and remainder is +3. Okay, there is no restriction on Q. Is that clear? No restriction on Q, but there is a restriction on R. So Pooja, R is -2 is wrong, because quotient must be, sorry, remainder must be non-negative. Okay, and Kiran, Q is 7, number is negative, so Q must be a negative number. Is that clear? If this number is positive, then your quotient is positive. If this number is negative, then your quotient is negative. So that solution is quotient is -7 and remainder is 3. एक लक्षात ठेवा, या खूप लहानपणीच्या गोष्टी आहे ज्या 5व्या वर्गात शिकवल्या जातात, पण आपण नेहमी चूक कुठे करतो, तिथेच. ओके, ग्रेटेस्ट कॉमन डिवायझर. Let A and B are integers, not both 0. दोघांपैकी एक 0 असू शकतो, पण दोघंही कधीच 0 राहणार नाहीत. Okay, the greatest integer D, that is largest integer D or greatest integer D, such that D divides A and B, that is D divides A and D divides B, is called the greatest common divisor of A and B. Definition. In definition, We say A and B are integers, not both 0. The largest integer D, not any integer D, that is largest integer D such that D divides A as well as B is called greatest common divisor of A and B. Okay, so greatest common divisor of A and B is denoted by GCD of AB. For example, what is the GCD of 48 and 72? So find all possible, that is positive common divisors of 48 and 72, which are common divisors of 48 and 72. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16 and 24. All are common divisors of 48 and 72. Simply we have to find common divisor of both the numbers and we have to find largest of them. Is that clear? That is divisor of A and B. It's common divisor of A and B. And we need a largest integer D, which is divisor of both. So we find a divisor of both, that is common divisor of 48 and 72. We get these, and among these 24 is a largest. So what is GCD of 19 and 72? Question is for you. Find GCD of 19 and 72 and write in chat box. Pick. One. One. Anyone student from first year? Omkar, Santosh, 1, 1. Okay, because the only positive common divisors of 19 and 72 is 1. Also, we know 19 is prime number, so it has only two divisors, positive divisors, 1 and 19, and 19 is not divisor of 72. So that common divisor of 19 and 72 is 1. So that GCD of 19 and 72 is 1. Also, you can find GCD of two numbers by using prime factorization. That is, any number A and B can be written as product of prime power factors. That is P1A1, P2A2, and so on, Pn, and B can be written as P1B1, P2B2, and so on, Pn. Because if we take two numbers 10 and 15, 10 and 15, look at 10 and 15. 10 can be written as 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 0, and 5 to the power 1. And 15 can be written as 2 to the power 0, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 1. Clear? 10 and 15, or we can say is that 10 and 16. Any two numbers can be written as, the factors of 16 are 2, 2, 2, 2, and the factors of 10 are 2 and 5. So that 2 into 5. That is 2 to the power 1 and 5 to the power 1. And 16 also written as 2 to the power 4 and 5 to the power 0. Is that clear? So any two numbers can be written as prime power factorization. Or if we take 10 and 15, then these two numbers can be written as 2, because factors of 15 are 3 and 5. And factors of 10 are 2 and 5. So we write 2 to the power 0, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 2, 3 to the power 0, and 5 to the power 1. That is, we use same primes for both the numbers. If any one factor is absent, then we write to the power 0. Okay, so it is prime power factorization of 10 and 15. Okay, where P1 is less than P2 is less than, and so on, Pn, and Ai, Br are any positive numbers. So GCD of A and B is simply P1 to the power minimum of A1 B1, P2 to the power minimum of A2 B2, and Pn to the power of minimum of An Bn. For example, A is 60, so it can be written as 2 to the power 5, 3 to the power 5, 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 1. Another number, suppose that B is 54, it can be written as 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 3, and 5 to the power 0. That is, we take all the primes which commons to 60 and 54. 5 is absent. 5 is not divisor of 54. So we write 5 to the power 0. Okay, 60 and 54. GCD of 60 and 54. That is 2 to the power minimum of 1 and 2. Power of 2 is 1 and 2. So that minimum of 1 and 2 is 2 to the power 1. Minimum of 1 and 3 for 3, again 1. So that's 3 to the power 1. And minimum of 1 and 0 is 0. So that's 5 to the power 0. That is 2 to the power 1, minimum of 1 and 2, 3 to the power minimum of 1 and 3, that is 1, and 5 to the power minimum of 1 and 0, that is 0. So that 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 0, that is 6. Is that clear? So we can find GCD by using greatest common, that is using prime power factorization. Definition of relatively prime integer. Numbers which are called as relatively prime if their GCD is 1. So two integers A and B are relatively prime if GCD of A and B is 1. Is that clear? And another definition is pairwise relatively prime. Relatively prime and pairwise relatively prime. That is, the integers A1, A2, and so on An are pairwise relatively prime if GCD of any two numbers AI, AJ is 1 whenever I and j is varying from 1 to n. Okay, that's clear. Relatively prime, two numbers, and pairwise relatively prime, any two pairs are relatively prime. Then our next concept is LCM. Okay, definition. The least common multiple of positive integers a and b is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both a and b. Clear? The least common multiple of positive integers a and b is the smallest positive integer that is divisible by both a and b, or simply it is the smallest common multiple of a and b, and we denote it by LCM of AB. For example, LCM of 3 and 7 is 21, because multiple of 3 and 7 are 21, 42, 63, and so on. But least of them is, that is smallest of them is 21. Hello? LCM of 4 and 6 is 12, because multiple of 4 and 6 are 12, 24, etc., etc., and smallest one is 12. LCM of 5 and 10 10, and so on. Again, we can find LCM by using prime power factorization. That is, if A and B are two numbers which are written in prime power factorization, again same, P1, P2, all are prime, and AI, BI are positive integers. Okay, LCM of A and B is equal to P1 to the power maximum of A1, B1, P2 to the power maximum of A2, B2, and so on, Pn to the power maximum of An, Bn. For GCD, power is minimum, and for LCM, power is maximum. Counter example again, 60, written as 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 1. And again 54, 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 3, and 5 to the power 0. Problems are same. Then LCM of AB, that is 60 and 54, is 2 to the power maximum of 2 and 1, that is 2, 3 to the power maximum of 3 and 1, that is 3, and 5 to the power maximum of 1 and 5, that is 1. So 2 square, 3 cube, 5 to the power 1, that is 4 into 27 into 5, that is 540. Okay, so GCD and LCM both. For GCD, minimum, power minimum, so that power minimum of 2 and 1 is 2, 1, so that 2 to the power 1, 3 to the power 1, and 5 to the power 0. So that GCD is 2, 3, 5 to the power 0, that is 6. Okay, is that clear? And for LCM, we take maximum power, that is 2 to the power 2, 3 to the power 3, and 5 to the power 1. That is this one. That is 540. Okay, and it is important result. Product of AB is equal to GCD into LCM of AB. Product of AB is GCD into LCM. You can easily check. Product of 6 and 54 is 6 into 54, 60 into 54, and GCD into LCM is also 6 into 540. It is product of AB can be also written as 6 into 540. That is 60 into 54. That is 6 into 540. 6 into 540. It is also written as 60 into 54. Okay. So that product of number is equal to product of GCD and LCM of that number. ठीक आहे. इथे आपण थांबू. उद्या आपण मॉड्युलर अरिथमेटिक हा टॉपिक घेऊ. ठीक आहे, कारण हा टॉपिक थोडा मोठा आहे. मॉड्युलर अरिथमेटिक. Okay, so thank you. We stop here, and tomorrow we continue with modular arithmetic.